Welcome to this week's Down Home with Tina show. I'm your host, Tina Thompson. If you can't see me, just glowing with excitement here. We are back on set, and I'm so very excited. I have missed this, where I just sit in my chairs and have my guests, and I've got a couple of great guests coming up, and I've got my butterfly story from a couple of weeks ago. I had a guest on, and just don't go anywhere. Lots to share with you coming up in this next half hour. It's Down Home with Tina.
Life is unpredictable. That's why estate planning is important. Estate planning provides you comfort and peace of mind knowing that you're taking care of your loved ones and ensuring your legacy lives on just as you envisioned. You lived a life that is beautifully and uniquely yours. You deserve an estate planning attorney who understands that and creates a plan as unique as you and in the best interest of your loved ones. You deserve the local, trusted, experienced attorneys at Dagger Law.
The Frankie Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our two locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster and 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
Welcome back to Down Home with Tina. So excited to have a new guest on the show this week. He happens to be the Dean of Campus at Ohio University of Lancaster. His name is Dean Jarrod Tudor, and I'm so happy to have you because you have some really cool new things going on, some things that have been put on hold for a little bit, but we'll get back to regular schedule hopefully next year, and we're going to find out all about that. But before we get started, why did you decide you wanted to become, because you're a professor as well?
Yes.
So why? Why that? Why teach?
Why make the transition to administration? Why did I,
why did I do that?
Yes. When you get into higher ed, it's a calling as well as a love. And I had a great experience when I was a graduate assistant at the University of Toledo. Knew I wanted to be a faculty member. Okay, but I also, becoming a faculty member, newly minted faculty member, I had some great mentors, and these were people that held positions in administration. And I'd ask them the exact same questions, like, why are you doing this? I mean, I know you love your discipline, why are you doing this? They said, well, we have a unique opportunity to self-govern and make this place better, all right? Because again, in higher ed, we are given a lot of flexibility to manage ourselves, and I kind of caught the bug and fell in love with it. And I'm a recovering lawyer by trade, but I will tell you this, I've only had one bad day in 25 years of work. And even after that one bad day, I still wanted to come back to work. It is a great, great place to be.
Oh, that is so awesome. So you do some of the teaching part of it still, right?
Oh yeah, I haven't left the classroom completely. So I'm teaching two classes this term. One is in person, so I've got students right in front of me, and then one is online, and that's kind of the way things are going here in higher ed right now. We've got a large portfolio of online courses, largely due to the pandemic, but we've got some students right in front of us as well.
About how many compared to last year to this year do you have in-person classes going on right now?
That's a great question. So 60% of our portfolio right now is in-class, traditional, what most people would think of as college. And 40% is either online or hybrid. Hybrid meaning sometimes you're in class, sometimes you're not, sometimes you're online, sometimes you're in the lab, that kind of stuff. Now last year, virtually all of it was. So we were like 90% online hybrid and only 10% in the classroom. And that 10% was really reserved for labs. So it would be things like biology, chemistry, physics, just what you would think.
Did you really see a decrease in students and being a part of and coming into the school because of what happened last year? I mean, did it drop?
We did. We were down, but virtually every higher education institution was down. Regional campuses were down, community colleges were down. People got nervous about coming to school. That's one part, but then they also didn't want the online environment. And they just said, I'm going to take a year off. I'm going to take some time out. And that totally made sense.
Well, and with that too, the athletic part of it, side of it, that was nothing last year, right? And
nothing
what's going on this year?
Right, and nothing this year. So what we decided to do last year, of course, is suspend everything because of COVID. We didn't know what was coming. We didn't know what the reality would be. And all of our athletic partners in our conference, of course, did the exact same thing. So there was almost nobody to play. This year, we're going to slow things down as well. We're going to reboot everything in 2022, but we really want to take some time to look at our athletic portfolio, think about the athletics that we want to bring back. We'll pretty much bring every single one of them, but there might be some new additions, especially some sports that are outdoors, that are, let's just call it COVID friendly, if you will. But our again, our athletic partners are doing the same thing.
Does that affect the enrollment as well?
It does. We have a lot of students that are at OUL because they want to be student athletes and they want to play basketball or volleyball or what have you. And I feel for them, and we work with them as much as we possibly can, reminding them what their eligibility is. That, if they take a year off, they get to keep their eligibility. So if they want to come back and play, they can do it.
And again, it's across the board. You're not the only
everybody.
university that is doing this. It's just something that's happening right now. So as of right now, we like to say, we're talking about that, as of right now, everything in 2022 will be, for the most part, back going again the way it was before.
That's all.
I want to say that a normal, but isn't it like a new norm, is what we all kind of say these days?
It is a new normal. I would say that we will always be, probably for the rest of my career, which I hope goes on at least another 20 years, is that we will be pandemic sensitive. So hopefully we'll get through this one, but we'll always have policies and procedures in place in case we have to do it all over again.
You have a new program that is it just this year then?
Yes, so we are the beneficiary of a very generous donation to Ohio University-Lancaster. Dr. Joyce Jarrod, who grew up here and had this incredible career internationally and in California, gave us, again, a nice sum of money to build a nursing program. So this will be a 4-year nursing program here at OUL, and students can do absolutely everything right here at OUL.
And it's so needed, is it not?
It is needed.
Nurses?
It's amazing how we needed nurses before COVID, and we need even more nurses. And when we did our research to justify the nursing program, which frankly wasn't hard, we knew what the answer was going to be, but we did our due diligence. Everybody needs nurses, but there's a couple things that we have to think about when it comes to our nursing population. One, we're all living longer. That's a good thing. We all want to live longer, but if you live longer, you're going to have a greater lifespan where you need nurses. Second, we're going to face a wave of retirements. And that's the part that I think we all need to think, whether it's Ohio University or any of our university partners, we need to build a bigger infrastructure. We're going to be a nice piece of this, but we need to build a bigger infrastructure to train healthcare workers, nurses, being at the very, very front. I'm so grateful to everybody that's in healthcare and doing nursing work right now because they've been through the gauntlet for sure. But we're excited. We're going to be a big part of this.
I love hearing when there's growth, especially when it's one of our local universities, such as Ohio University of Lancaster. Okay, Lancaster Thunder.
Yes.
Semi-professional basketball team.
Yes.
What's going on with that? What do they have to do with OUL these days?
Well, we're happy that we are hosting them. So it was great when I was talking to David and Michael. I got to meet the team in their first practice right at OUL, and I just said, "Welcome home." And here it is, and here's home. We're excited to have them on campus. It's a great community connection for us.
It is.
We're happy to have them, but I'll be blunt. I'll be selfish. It's nice to have a semi-professional basketball team on our campus that draws people onto our campus, so I can showcase our campus and get people interested in OUL as well as the Lancaster Thunder.
Well, I know it certainly is helping them out, I'm sure, in more ways than one.
I hope so.
Well.
I mean, it's fun basketball. It's exciting basketball. They have a really nice league that they play in that's very comprehensive, and you see some great talent. And some of these players start with the Lancaster Thunder, and they go on and have incredible careers overseas or anywhere else.
Do you have a favorite on the team? You don't even have to announce it if you do or not.
No,
I'm not announcing it.
I won't do that, but I will say this. I think the world of the coaching staff because they are taking players at a certain point in their career and nurturing them forward.
To further it, to grow and to become even better. And I love their teamwork and just the way they get out and they do community things as well. And with kids, I see them on social media with different kids in the community, which is encouraging them with basketball and the different programs that they have with that as well. So what can you share with us about Ohio University of Lancaster and higher education and its future?
Yeah, so as I had mentioned, this is a tough time for higher ed. It's a tough time for everybody. I totally get it. But it's a tough time for higher ed because what we're trying to do is find pathways for our students, certainly to finish. So again, we have a lot of students, and across the country, tens of thousands of students that started their careers outside of COVID, went into COVID. We need to get that group through. but we also have to be sensitive to the fact that this might not be the last time we have a COVID pandemic or a pandemic, and we've got to have policies in place. We're trying to develop our online and hybrid portfolios, but never forgetting that the key mission is the on-ground, in-class education.
Certainly. Anybody that's interested in maybe taking classes or courses at OUL, or they just want to stay up to date on what's going on with the athletic programs or any of that, how can they follow you?
Best way to do it is jump on our website. All right.
Great.
So, and again, that's ohio.edu/Lancaster, and we're all there.
Jarrod, anything else that before we go that you'd like to share with the community?
No, just that I'm very, very excited to be here. This has been a great job. I'm 10 months in, and I can't think of a better place to be.
You're only 10 months in?
Only 10 months in.
I wouldn't have known that. Great job. Good job. Thank you so much for being with me.
Thank you.
And I wish you the best of luck with everything. And I can't wait for everything to get back to what it's supposed to be. Folks, he is the Dean of the OUL campus over here in Lancaster. And I'm so excited to have had him. And please follow them to keep up to date with what's happening and what's going on. You're watching Down Home with Tina.
Fairfield Federal. When it comes to our customers and our community, we go above and beyond to help. Our people make the difference.
We were retiring from Tucson, Arizona, and we made a retirement trip out around Ohio, having decided that's where we wanted to be. And we came across this town called Lancaster, and we fell in love with the downtown area, where the fountain is, and the memorials, and the flags, and all this stuff. And I looked around and I said, there's our bank right there.
There's something to be said about a community bank in your hometown.
Right. If you live in the community, you should do business in the community as much as possible. So it makes sense to bank with the community bank where you live.
Fairfield Federal is the bank to be at. If you live in this town, or any town actually, you want to bank at a local home bank. And the employees are happy here, they're conversant, customer service is through the roof. There's nothing more you could ask for.
Personal or business banking, whatever you need, we take it seriously because we know you do. Stop by today at any of our 3 locations and see why the difference is clear. Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan specializes in banking that revolves around you.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
It's Down Home with Tina, and one of my favorite topics of all time is talking about the Fairfield County Fair. All I know is that it is every year. It is in October, and I have been going to it my entire life. Well, I don't know if my mom and dad took me when I was like prior to those days where, we walk around that circle of all of the games and the rides. And I'm just telling you, and Cheryl is with me, Cheryl Ricketts. She is the Fair Board Director of the Fairfield County Senior Fair Board.
Yes, I'm one of 16, and we love the fair just as much as you do. I mean, it really is one of those institutions that is a part of the community and a part of the heart of people.
Yes.
It's such a special place to be.
I've tried going to other fairs, and I'm disappointed every time. And I'm like, but to compare them to our fair is just really actually not fair. Seriously. No pun intended, seriously.
That's why we call ours the last and the best, because it is the last fair of the year, but it is also truly such a spectacular place to be.
It's the time of year. It's beautiful. How many years is this going to make our fair?
This is the 171st fair. So 1850 was the year that we were incorporated, but 1851 was the first year of the fair. So 2021, 171 years later, we've been going strong.
And I remember reading the Laura Ingalls Wilder books and talking about the fair and stuff. So, and I just see our fair being the same way. It started out with just farmers coming together and then competitions of the baked goods and things like that. And I get goosebumps thinking about it because we still do this today.
Yes. And our mission for the society is around education and sharing things on promoting agriculture, promoting science, promoting art, which gets into the food that you just referenced. And obviously, doing lots of things. As agriculture has become a smaller part from a percentage standpoint, it becomes more and more important to showcase that. Of course, it's a piece of having fun too and just celebrating the end of the year.
And I think it's, if not most, all of our county schools take the week off of the fair because they are so involved.
There are a few that don't. Like my hometown, Pickerington, does not release for the fair anymore. When I was in school, we released for the fair.
Oh, you
but
did.
yeah, but that changed a few years ago. So
with that being said, Cheryl, what are the fair dates for this year?
October. So we start October 10th. That's Sunday, and it's the free day. So you get a chance to walk around and see what's going on. And then we run through Saturday the 16th. If you're engaged in an entry in the art hall, which is where I serve as a director during the fair, all of our art hall stuff comes in on Saturday the 9th, and we release on Sunday the 17th. So the fair is extended for us, but the fair itself runs the 10th through the 16th.
Are there any restrictions for the fair this year?
Oh, heavens no. Come on, come all. We want everybody to be at the fair this year. In fact, the commissioners, the county commissioners view our county fair as such a part of the community that they said, we want to have this, we want to promote the fair as a return to normal event. So we are encouraging everybody to come to the fair. We're having a bigger than normal kickoff opening on Monday morning this year. The commissioners have scheduled a flyover, which is very, so we're going to have a very neat opening this year. That's also our Veterans Day, and it's also, actually some of our livestock shows start on Sunday.
Okay.
But they continue Monday through the rest of the week, so it's very neat.
On Sunday, the reason why I really enjoy going on Sundays is because I go other days as well. I could go every day and get my little treats there at the fair if it's just for that alone. Yeah. But anyways, I love to see the excitement of the 4-H kids and the FFA members, because for some, it's their very first time being at the fair. And so there's all of this energy. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it.
I am too.
All the energy that you feel that. Yeah. So if you don't mind people and you love to see that with kids and the teens, then I recommend go that day, but of course continue to come back throughout the week to help, because there are also some of those vendors that have the concessions that are the schools. So you help out so many in the community by being there.
There, you know, and there really truly is something for everybody at the fair.
Yes.
It doesn't matter whether you like rides, whether you like arts and crafts, whether you like the concessions, the midway, the games of chance, whether you like historic buildings. You know, our fair is really unique because we have 7 historic buildings on the fairground.
That's
I'm
awesome.
not sure everybody knows that. So I have to say, my father was on the fair board for 58 years.
Oh my goodness.
And so I'm kind of continuing the tradition of being on the fair board, but part of his generation of fair board got all of those 7 buildings. And so if you like history, such a wonderful place to come see. What did a doctor's office look like in the 1800s?
Yeah.
What did a gas station look like in the, what did a schoolhouse, what did the depot, I mean, just really neat opportunities.
Feel that you can just, like even the round cattle barn.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
There's just going in there and sitting up higher in that second level in the stands. I think you can still, can't you?
Yes, you still can.
I thought so. It's been a couple of years, of course, because of, but you feel, I think, the history.
Yeah, and it's that is such a unique building, and you know, people have started using that for weddings outside of the week of the fair, which is such a neat place to have a wedding, really, because of the round section of it. Was unique.
So Cheryl, you had mentioned that you have one of many in the family, and your dad was involved with the fair for 58 years. Yeah. How many years have you been participating on the fair board, or the fair and the fair board? Your whole life, probably. The fair.
So I'm like you. I think they started taking me when if they had
utero,
those papoose
carriers,
I would have been
before you were born. Right. I'm sure you were probably there.
However, you know, I was one of those 4-Hers that when I was 10 years old, because that was the first year, I was showing livestock and doing sewing and leadership projects from then on. So I participated in the fair, the junior fair, and then I have been on the fair board. You kind of lose count, but I think it's like 9 years now that I've been on the fair board in different roles. Yeah.
So do you have a very favorite thing about the fair yourself?
Well, you know what, it depends on, because growing up, it was truly the junior fair because that's what I was most attached to. However, since I've been on the fair board, I got involved with the speed program, which is the horse racing, because that was what Dad did. So that was the first thing I did as a director. And then it shifted, so I'm now doing fine arts and photography in the art hall. And we have between 1,000 and 1,500 photographs that come in every year, and between 300 and 400 arts from anybody from a 6-year-old to a 90-something-year-old we have exhibiting in the art hall. So I have to tell you, the passion of the junior fair kids is mimicked in the art hall with the talent that you see in there. So what I've learned over the years, because we have to think of the fairgrounds as a business and run it that way, because our junior fair actually costs us money. There are things that cost us money. The south end of the fairground actually, during the fair week, brings in the money that allows us to do the full fair that during the year.
Is it cooler in the art building? Is there air or something? Why do I always feel like it's a little cooler?
There's not air conditioning.
Fans, maybe is that
we
why
have
people
fans.
have fans? That's what it is.
When it gets the fair is 80, we have fans running. But other than that, it's just like any place else. It's warm.
Well, depends on the day too.
Depends on the
because
day.
it's October, so
Yes,
it's in Ohio, so it can be a cooler day or maybe not. So here's my other question: how many times do you think it was that you had to walk around the fair looking for somebody in that one circle where all of the games and all of the, friends and stuff? I'm just asking you because I'm telling you, I remember doing that when I was a kid before phones.
Well, yes, oh my goodness.
Where it's like, oh my goodness, I just want to find my mom, or I just want to find my bestie,
Well,
you knew
what?
they were there.
Actually,
but where?
I will tell you, my kids did that a bit more, although they were in junior fair as well. They did it a little bit more on the south side. When I was in fair, I spent the bulk of my time with junior fair. It just seemed like and in all honesty, I showed multiple livestock projects. So, but I did run around the livestock barns going, hey, so-and-so, are you in here? So you could yell in there.
Cheryl, is there anything that is not going to be at the fair this year that everybody usually has seen or we've had?
No, not at this point in time. Now, we're in August.
Right.
And COVID is changing. Is there a chance that restrictions will change up till the moment before the fair starts? And unfortunately, yes. We hope that there is absolutely none, and we are planning for a totally full fair. So we're having the rodeo on Monday night. We're having Julia Neville on Tuesday night, who's a great local country artist. We're having the normal evening events. We're having the kiddie tractor pulls. We're doing everything.
And Senior Day, right?
There's Senior Day. Senior Day is on Wednesday. Veterans Day is on Monday. In association with the opening. All of those things are happening. All of our cooking contests, all happening. We're planning on a full fair. So we hope the 16-foot tall weeds come in for the tallest weed contest.
I could have.
Just like normal. Yes.
How much is it to get into the fair this year for the entry?
This year, since I think the first time since in the early 70s, it would have been last year, but we raised the price $2. So it's from $5 to $7 this year. And because there's so much ongoing maintenance, we needed to have that increase. So that extra money will be going to maintenance in the fairground and security safety kinds of improvements over the course of the year. And we actually have ideas for how we're going to use the extra money that's going to come in this year.
Perfect.
So that we can keep this legacy of an amazing fair going for another 100 years.
Oh yeah, I can only hope.
Yeah.
Yes, I hope that my greats.
Yes, that's what we're thinking about.
Grandbaby,
Exactly.
That we'll be able to sit and have a conversation, hopefully just like this one, but put that number 2 in front of it instead of the number 1, so make it 200 plus years.
Yeah.
So is there anything else that you wanted to add to us, other than we probably should say school day? Student day is Thursday for people who don't want to come out that day because all the students are there, and those who have students who say, go.
Yeah.
Go for the day. You know, goes both ways.
But you know what? There are going to be areas, I think if we look at it, a lot of times that will incorporate the Midway area. So if you're interested in anything other than the Midway, there's still lots
safe.
of opportunities on every day of the week to spend time and have some place that's not crowded to the fair. I should mention that we have a shuttle service running from River Valley Mall, and we've expanded that this year, so we're going to get extra shuttles.
Okay.
So if you have been frustrated, because we're expecting, lots of people are saying, I missed the fair so much last year, I am getting back and getting my fill in 2021. So we hope everybody will come out en masse, and we'll figure out a way to have you there at the fair and in loving it any day of the week.
All right, and you've got a Facebook and all that good
Yes,
stuff. So
FairfieldCountyFair.org. We also have a Facebook page, but anything you want to know, you can find on FairfieldCountyFair.org.
Yes,
Thank
but
you.
right now, as of right now, we're having a fair. Thank you so much,
thank you
Cheryl.
for the
I
opportunity
appreciate
to be here.
everything. Yes,
Yeah,
and all of
great.
your commitment and all that too.
you.
So, folks, you're watching Down Home with Tina show, and don't go anywhere because I had a young lady a couple of weeks ago who gave me a chrysalis because she is on a monarch mission for butterflies. So I'll be back and share my outcome on that in just a minute. It's Down Home with Tina.
Everybody, welcome to the high school football game of the week. I'm Jarrod Stewart alongside Tim Shoemaker. Tonight, we've got a great one for you. The Blue Carroll Bulldogs. We had a great week of practice. Even in the rain and the weather, we had a great week of practice. Schneider, lots of running room to midfield. He's gone. Ryan Schneider down the near sideline for a touchdown for the Aces.
Grab a hold on the offense, number 20. That penalty will be declined. They'll bring up 4th down.
And we're going to give you this game ball here because you're a Tiberios fan of the game. And thanks for being here, Jacob.
Thank you. The Polar Bears are your OAC tournament champions. First time since 2009. What an exciting finish for the Ohio Northern Polar Bears.
Be very proud of this trophy because you've earned it.
Down Home with Tina is brought to you by these amazing sponsors. They're the reason why I get to be here every week and have wonderful folks like I just had on here on the show. I wanted to just give you a follow-up. A couple of weeks ago, I had a young lady by the name of Abby. She has Abby's Monarch Missions. She has a Facebook page where she is saving monarch butterflies. And she gave me the most beautiful gift that when she gave it to me, I was like, oh my goodness. It was a chrysalis of the butterfly where it's still in it's going to hatch. Well, she gave it to me and she said it's 2 or 3 days. Well, when it turns dark, really dark, then it's a matter of hours before it will hatch. And of course, mine decided to hatch in the middle of the night. I watched all day long. The day that it was black, I couldn't eye on it. I'm telling you what, it was almost like you have a baby or a child and you want to make sure everything's okay because you don't want to miss something or whatever. And then it hatched. I woke up that day and I had to release it. But I have to tell you, even in that 24-hour period where it was getting ready to hatch out, I was so worried I'd miss it, and then when it happened, it was okay, but it was really, at the end, it was the release of the butterfly. Until you guys do something like that, because it's almost like your child, because I have one son who he has grown and on his own, it's kind of like letting them go and watching them fly away. It's no different, I think, than that. Well, folks, that's about all the time I've got left. I just wanted to show you a couple pictures there and share with you about that. You can follow Abby on her Facebook. Thanks so much. God bless. Have a great week. It's Down Home with Tina.